Pittsburgh Steelers fans, happy Thanksgiving and welcome to a special edition of the Steelers Q&A, where myself and joining me today is Lance Williams are going to answer some of your questions. I've got to be honest, it's a holiday. We wanted to provide some content for you, the viewer, and for you, the listener. So we wanted to just about 30 minutes max to come on here, answer some questions, talk about the upcoming game against the Browns. Lance, happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Happy Thanksgiving to the Hartman clan. I'm sure you guys are going to bring it in the right way with a lot of grub, a lot of food, a lot of football, faith,
Absolutely.
family, football, all that, the multiple F's. So congratulations to you and yours.
Same to you. And I want to take a moment that I wrote an article today for the website behindthesteelcurtain.com, a letter from the editor, and it basically was just me giving thanks to several people. And I, thanked all my writers that can provide content for the site every single day. I thanked all the podcasters, and I kind of told the story about Lance and I in 2014 when I finally convinced Neil Coulong, the former editor of the website, to let me do a podcast. He kept on saying, no. And I'm like, man, Lance, I said, let me do a podcast. He said, okay, you're going to do it with my friend Lance. And I was like, okay. The first time we went on the air, I had never spoken to Lance Williams before in my life. Literally, it was, okay, we're live in 3, 2, 1. My name's Jeff. His name's Lance. I know nothing about you other than that you live in California.
Nice.
Here we are, 6 seasons later, still doing the show. Our podcast platform has really expanded. I'm really proud of the product that we put out, not just our show, but for Brian Anthony Davis and Dave Schofield and Tony DeFeo. Thank you all for all the work, but really, thank you to the viewers and the listeners that have really helped grow this channel and get us near 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. And we're having our biggest month on our podcast platform where we're well over 4,000 downloads a day. We're over that mark. And so the next goal, because we got that 4,000, next goal is 5,000. It's doable. We can only do it by you all liking the shows and being a part of the community and sharing it to all the other Steelers brethren out there. But Lance, any particular thanks you'd like to give today?
I want to thank you, Jeff. Thank you for grinding. I mean, you grind, and I know the listeners out there, Jeff grinds, man. Jeff has a lot going on in his personal life. Jeff grinds. Jeff is professional, and Jeff is very deferential and very humble. And I think that comes off in the shows, and that's part of the reason why I think the site has grown so much. Jeff is dedicated to it, and he grinds. I mean, he keeps us all motivated, and he keeps us all doing it. So there are days when we're like, "Come on, man! like, are we really doing a show? Like, there's really nothing to talk about." But Jeff grinds. Jeff works. And thank you for you, Jeff, for this this 6 years, and thank you for the Steelers, man, for
absolutely
bringing outstanding content. I mean, because this year has been awesome. This last year and a half with Mr. Third and Fifth and Mr. Butt Naked and Robbed, man, this has just been a great year to really talk about the Steelers.
There's been a lot to talk about. I mean, even in season, Ben Roethlisberger's injury, Mason Rudolph promoted, Minka Fitzpatrick trade, duck season is now on Pittsburgh. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. But I want to get to this here. $5 from Shield 91, who's a longtime viewer of the podcast. He says, you guys are committed. Thank you guys and everyone at BTSC. First season with you guys, and I'm loving it. I look forward to many more. Happy Turkey Day. Shield, thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving to you and all the people that are in the live chat right now. We have another one here, $1.99. He says, I'm thankful to listen to you guys. We appreciate that. Really, it's a labor of love. I mean, here we are on Thanksgiving Day doing a podcast talking about the Steelers. Lance and I are fans, and I think that's what we try to convey in these podcasts is that we're trying to bring an analytical view from a fan's perspective.
Right, perfect.
I'm a homer. I will admit that I'm a homer. Lance is a hater. It's like H&H, homer and hater. That's what we should call the show from now on. Hey, welcome to the H&H show, the homer and the hater.
Homer and the hater. That's perfect because the rumor is I am a fan.
That's the rumor. That's a rumor. Okay. We are going to talk about the Steelers and not just wax poetic about the podcast platform and things of that nature. I titled this show, before we get to some questions, I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, which last night on the Standards, I kind of said they're awful. They are awful. The statistics show that they're awful. They are a bottom tier offense in every single category that matters. We're talking 25th or worst, or worse, not worst. I'm sorry, worse. And I just feel like with Devlin Hodges taking over, Lance, would you say the expectations have never been lower for this offense?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. The coach said, "I hope he doesn't kill us."
Exactly.
So it can't get any lower than that. So
right. So for me, I look at it and say, okay, you can go one of two directions here. You can go ultra conservative, which I sadly, I think that Mr. Fietner is going to probably go in that direction, or you could go the direction that I would go in, and that's we're playing with house money, all in. Boom, chips are in. Let's roll the dice because no one's expecting that. No one's expecting that. Cleveland's going into this game and they're saying we're going to load the box. 8 players in. We'll go man to man because I don't think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to play. We're going to stop the run because obviously that's what Pittsburgh's going to want to do. We're going to stop the run. We're not going to let them check the ball down, beat us down the field. Well, beat them down the field. Lance, which side would you go on? Ultra conservative? Or are you all in like I am?
I might go ultra conservative.
Oh my gosh.
I might go ultra conservative until I have to go.
But then it doesn't work though. It doesn't work in that instance. You have to come out guns a-blazing.
So what does that look like? Does that look like
play action passes early?
4 wide, spread them out?
No, I think you throw out of non-conventional formations. I would come out if I'm Randy Fietner, and again, I am not, because half the stuff that idiot does, I would not do.
You're in much better shape too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's not really saying much. Anyways, I would come out. You know what my favorite formation is, Lance. I've talked about it a million times. I love that bunch formation because it's so versatile. You can run out of it. You can throw out of it. I think that even if Juju Smith-Schuster's not in the lineup with James Washington really coming on, Superman, Deion Kane, as a deep threat. He is fast. He can get vertical. I'm coming in and saying, hey, we're going to run versatile formations, play action passes early. And what's the worst case scenario outside of a turnover is you're going to back the defense off. The defense is going to say, wait a second, they're taking shots. And whether they're successful or not, they're going to realize that we can't sell out and put everyone in the box. We need to back up. We need to back up and play more coverage, and then you might be able to soften them up and run. So that's what I would do. You're saying you're going ultra conservative.
Yeah, I'd probably try to run the football, try to establish the run, shorten the game.
You're going run, pass, run, pass,
see what we could do. Probably, I'm gonna play to the defense. But the one thing to your point, Jeff, I mean, we all know what's going to happen on Sunday. They're going to have at least one turnover, so they should be used to it. So turning the football, although Tomlin cited that as one of the reasons that Mason Rudolph was benched, at least one turnover should not make the Steelers squeamish. I mean, they've turned the ball over in 17, 18 games in a row.
17 games in a row. They've had 5 interceptions in the last 2.
So they should be used to it. So they shouldn't be overly squeamish to the fact that they need to, maybe loosen some things up and let Duck sling it. Also, I like them to let them utilize Duck's legs, a little RPO stuff to your side of the ball, a little more RPO stuff. Let Duck do what Duck do. Let the Duck fly. Fly, Robin, fly. But I want to do it in a conservative fashion. First, start off by the run game and play it to that defense.
You're going to play right into the Browns' defensive hands. You're going to be up to another slow start. I would rather them go 3 and out by taking shots, being aggressive, than I would see them bang their heads into the wall over and over again. But Grayson Brown gives us $9.99. We appreciate that very much. He said, big up to you both, Hollow Lance, from a fellow Homewood native. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Offense can't go all in because the offensive coordinator isn't all in. He can't lead a mouse to cheese in a straight line.
That's pretty good.
Big up to you, Grayson. Thank you for the tip. I think he's right though. And this might be coming down from the top. And when I say the top, I mean Mike Tomlin. You listen to Tomlin's comments since Mason Rudolph took over. It's been, don't kill us. And so I guarantee if Fietner's playing along with the script and saying, okay, don't kill you. I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to call conservative plays. So you believe that Randy Fietner's not all in on being aggressive?
I'm not in. Randy Fichtner's not good at anything. So I
No, that's not true. He's good at one thing. You ready?
being
Well,
inconsistently bad.
being Ben's puppet.
Oh, he's the Ben puppet.
Puppet. He's like a puppeteer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta ride with the guy that got you there. But I will say this in his defense, they were excellent in the red zone last year, which was astonishing because they were number one in the National Football League in the red zone. But I guess that's the case of, any Fichtner can get a nut or any squirrel can get a nut.
You see Ben on the sidelines wearing a headset. I mean, why don't they just let Mr. 300 call some plays? And when I say Mr. 300, I'm referring to his body weight, and we're not in them using the metric system here. We're talking poundage.
That might be what's that metric where they give you with the numbers and you go to the doctor and they measure you in the numbers like 40, like 22. Was it BPI or?
Wait, you're talking about body mass index, BMI?
Yeah, yes, that might be Ben's BMI 300.
Yeah. So let Mr. 300 call some plays. Hey, I do want to bring this up. The Steelers just released their injury report. This is like breaking news. Dun 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 dun.
That was pretty good.
We need to have that sound or something. Okay, so Juju Smith-Schuster missed his second straight practice, did not participate with a knee. Remember, we said this last night in case you didn't see that show, which you should. Go back. And it is that Juju Smith-Schuster has been released from the concussion protocol, so he is not in the protocol any longer, but did not practice with a knee injury. Does not look good for him on Sunday. Artie Burns, which I know everyone was losing sleep about him not practicing Wednesday, he was back as a limited participant. James Conner, shoulder injury, didn't practice Wednesday, was a limited participant Thursday. I don't know what to think about this because, he went on his radio show and basically said, he's not sure if his shoulder needs time to heal. He has an AC joint sprain. If anyone knows anything about the human body, it's going to need time to heal. It's not going to happen overnight. And so for that, I think that if Connor's smart, if he thinks that he's not even close to 90%, don't risk it because you're a running back. You're going to get popped, period. Ramon Foster was given the day off, not injury related, and Alejandro Villanueva, who was limited with a shoulder yesterday, was a full participant today. So that's good news for the Steelers offensive line. And that's it. That's it in regards to their injury report.
To your point, Jeff, you were talking about going, full throttle, going, 150 miles an hour with Devlin Hodges and ducking the game. The difficulty with that, and I'm not saying I wouldn't do that. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, though. But the difficulty with that is with the offensive weapons or lack thereof, it's kind of hard to go ultra aggressive because you just don't know if these guys can make plays. I mean, you've got a lot of young pieces, some guys that have just got to the squad. I mean, your best wide receiver is James Washington. That should tell you everything. And that's no knock to James Washington, who did his best Vanimal impression last week.
Well, let me be a little bit more specific in regards to what I said about being aggressive. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going 3 verticals deep every time. It means that you're attacking the middle of the field. It means that, think about the pass that they threw to James Washington on the 79-yard touchdown. I mean, think back. It wasn't a deep bomb where he caught it over his shoulder and walked 10 yards into the end zone. It was a catch over the middle and then yards after the catch. I want to see more of those type of throws down the middle. That's something that we've both talked a lot about, how Mason Rudolph struggled attacking the middle of the field between the numbers, right? I think Devlin Hodges does that better. And so be aggressive with it and run some play action and get the tight ends involved. I don't think there's any way if you're going to surprise anybody with this defense, it's going to be the fact that the tight end has been non-existent since the Seattle Seahawks game when Mason Rudolph came in relief of Ben Roethlisberger and threw 2 touchdowns to Vance McDonald. Since then, I think Vance McDonald has only 1 touchdown and has been absolutely a non-factor in the football game. Get them going early, and I think you can put them on their heels, and that's what they should be trying to do.
I don't disagree with you there in terms of trying to get the tight end involved. They have not. You're right. Tight ends just don't get targets. I always have these great ideas for Dave to bring up on the Stat Geek show, and you guys should check that out. Big up to Dave Schofield as well. Happy Thanksgiving to Dave and his family, and to who's bad, Brian Anthony Davis. #JustTakeIt, Mr. 2 a.m.
That's funny every time.
The tight ends have to get involved. And just maybe that. Let's say they try to really establish the run, but maybe they target the tight ends 10 times in a game. Now, if you say that, I'm buying that. I'm buying that because tight end throws, I think, are safer throws. And I think if they did that in the offensive game plan, that would shock everybody, just like me, right? If you know me, I don't like to shop. I don't like to go to a mall. So if I ever wanted to hide out and never be found, I would just go to the mall because no one would ever look for me there. You would never find me. You would never find me in a mall. I could just be in a mall like every day, eating Cinnabons, which are absolutely terrible, and just hide for like years. No one would find me. That's like Vanette and Vance McDonald. Like you'll never find them on a football field because they don't get targeted. All they do is block. And, if you came out with a game plan that tried to attack the middle in between the numbers or in between the hashes with tight ends, I think that could be effective. That could be something that would surprise the Browns. But the question is, you got Randy Fichtner calling plays.
Yeah. Some of the route combinations that they've run have been really mind-boggling too. You think back to the Monday night game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, you remember the over-under route combination they ran where Juju Smith-Schuster came underneath and Deontay Johnson went over the top, and the safety bit on Juju, and that left Deontay Johnson wide open. Maybe it's that they're not allowing the plays to develop long enough. I'm just not seeing those either. It's just bad, and so let's change it up.
One thing I've seen on film is when they try to run picks or rub concepts, and you guys are familiar with that, is when receivers kind of cross themselves kind of in opposite directions with the design that defensive backs won't pass it off. They'll follow the wide receiver and kind of bump into each other, freeing one of those guys up. A lot of times I've seen it this year where the receivers aren't running them with the proper depth, and they're almost hitting each other. And I've seen it not once, but like a lot of times where literally the receivers are kind of running, trying to get out of the way of themselves, which when you do that, it kind of ruins the whole concept of running a rub or a pick. Pick being the illegal description of it, rub being the the legal description of it.
AKA half of the New England Patriots offense.
Yes, rubs and picks. Rubs and picks. I mean, when run well.
That sounds like Robert Kraft got involved in that somehow.
Hashtag rub and tug. Hashtag crafty tug. Oh, that'd be a great t-shirt. Hashtag tug craft.
There you go.
TUGKRAFT.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lance, but we have a couple super chats to get to. Spiral Bomber gives us $20, says, Happy Thanksgiving, fellas. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We appreciate that a lot.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Snowman, he's $5. He says, I'm thankful for the BTSC staff, Jeff, Lance, Mr. Bad, and Dave Schofield. The Snowman he's a regular. He donates all the time, $5 in the tip jar. Thank you very much.
Frosty.
Yeah, it's his time of year. Let's go some questions for the show. We're going to do some rapid fire questions, folks. So I'm putting this in the live chat right now.
Getting focused.
Looking for rapid fire questions. So give us some questions that we can rattle off quickly. And Lance, while we're waiting, you never gave your score prediction from last night because you didn't give a number. You said you thought the Browns were going to win, and we all expected that. And there were many that rejoiced over that decision, but you never gave us a score. What do you see this final score being?
I'm gonna go 17-9.
Not even getting in the end zone once.
No, a couple of field goals. I think they struggle in the red zone. I'm gonna go 17-9.
Okay. You said 17-9. I said 27-20 Pittsburgh wins in case you missed the show last night. Here's the thing, too. I predicted I was doing some questions and answer stuff with Dogs by Nature, and that's the BTSC Browns website. And I said 27-20, predicted Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to get his mitts on a football again. So Take that
Okay,
to the
break
bank.
that down. Break that down for me, Jeff. How do they get to 27? That's got to be really creative thinking. I just want to see where you're, The Beautiful Mind, that great movie about the mathematician Dr. Nash. We're talking to Dr. Jeff
Well,
Hartman right here.
I think they're going to get a couple touchdowns. I did say I think one of them is going to be a defensive touchdown. So if you get to 14,
Okay.
you have a Boswell field goal, 17, another Boswell. I think they're going to score 3 touchdowns.
So Duck has a couple of touchdown passes, possibly.
I think he's going to throw for 2, and I think they're going to have a defensive one. I don't think they rush for a touchdown.
So give me the stat line for Duck in this predicted victory by the Reverend Good Dr. Jeff Hartman.
Devlin Hodges will be. I think he's going to have a really high completion percentage. I'm going to say like 19 of 25, and he's going to throw for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he'll also rush for 25 yards.
Wow. Whoa.
Because he reminds me of? He reminds me a little bit of Baker Mayfield. From the way that he can move in the pocket. He doesn't have the strongest arm ever. He's not ridiculously accurate. He's accurate, but Baker Mayfield's been criticized. He's not a really tall guy. He can get outside the pocket and make some plays with his legs. I watched a little bit of that. I went back and watched a little bit of the Ravens game when he came in. People forget he had some nice scrambles for some big yardage in that game. So keep that in mind.
Oh, so he's the Popper Baker. He's the very poor version of Baker Mayfield. Popperfield.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm on a roll today. Popperfield's a good one. Hashtag Tugcraft. That's another good one. I'm on a roll.
You ready
today.
for some rapid fire questions here?
I am.
Okay, so you already answered this. I'll answer though. Cody Marshall says how many red zone TDs? Lance says 0. I'm gonna say 1. They're gonna get 1. Ryan Kellerman, more carries. White, that's Kareth White or Trey Edmonds.
White.
I agree. Oh man, freaking live chat. Okay, here we go. If the Steelers lose to the Browns again, is the coaching staff in question?
No.
I don't either. Not the way they've kind of battled back. William Coonrad says, is this game big for Mike Tomlin? He feels that it is.
Yes, in the sense that if they win, they probably have a good shot to go to the playoffs. No, in the sense of, is it going to cost him his job? Because Tomlin's not getting fired as long as Ben's around, and because of what Jeff said. They've battled back to be 6-5. I mean, you're playing with 3 quarterbacks this year. To be 6-5 in the 6th seed going into the 12th game of the season, I mean, whether we like it or not, or the fans like it or not, that coaching staff is doing a great job. And I think Mike Tomlin is at this point in his career where half of the fan base is going to give him love, the other half isn't. I think he's fine with it. He just keeps getting them checks.
He doesn't live in his fears. We know that.
The sum of all fears.
Greg Wakefield, any news on how Ben's rehab is going? I'm going to answer this quickly and say it's not, because we now have dubbed him Mr. 300. Meaning,
I think it's going well. That fork is working overtime.
He probably has all this gravy in his beard and stuff today, just looking like a slob.
See,
hey, let me preface this by saying I'm a huge Ben Roethlisberger fan. I literally am. I'm a huge Ben Roethlisberger fan, but I'm also a huge fitness guy, and he has always disappointed me in that regard. So here's a great question from Captain Underpants. He says, "Can we win without a takeaway?"
Well, I didn't predict him to win anyway, so I would say no.
The hater says no. The homer says yes.
The hater, the homer. Would it be hater and homer or homer and hater show?
Well, it depends on if you're going by alphabetical. I like homer and hater.
I do like homer and hater.
Okay.
That's a good show.
Let's see here.
Nobody take that show also, because there's a lot of biters on YouTube. If you hear us say the Homer and Hater show, we said it here first. Hashtag copyrights.
Hashtag 2 a.m. All right. Just Me says, what are Watt's numbers? So I gave Devlin Hodges numbers. What do you think TJ Watt's stat line is?
I'm going to go 2 sacks, 7 tackles, 2 sacks. I'm just gonna say 7 tackles, 5 solo, 2 assisted.
Oh
I don't know. It's hard to do defense. I just know he has 2 sacks. He's getting 2 sacks.
2 sacks. I'll say 2 sacks and 4 quarterback hits. I think he's all over
There we
Baker
go.
Mayfield.
I
think
like
he's all
that. I
over
like
Baker
keep it
Mayfield.
even. 2 and
There you
4.
go. All right. So Grayson asks, do the Steelers get a 100-yard rushing game Sunday?
No.
I don't think they do, but here's another. Okay, let's compound that and say, do they have 100 yards rushing total?
No.
Yes, because I predicted that there'll be 25 of those yards will be in scramble variety of Devlin Hodges. I think they will. I think that counts.
How about yards per carry? 3 above or below 3.5?
Below, I would go more like 3.
Yeah, I think below if you take out the scrambles that you predict for the 25 yards.
If we're being true degenerate gamblers, we would have said under and not below. But
yes.
Sorry for all those degenerates out there that are pissed that we said that. Mark says, does Boz miss a field goal?
No way. That boy money. He is money. Hashtag Boz is money.
He is back to. He looks like he's back to his 2017 ways. Only one missed kick today.
And I got him missing. And I got him making 3 field goals. Hence the 9 points.
Denver says we should have do shirts printed up. Homer and Hater. That would
Love
be funny
it.
for us to get like one that says Homer and one that says
yes, Homer and Hater. Yes, that would be great.
Be pretty good.
And we could do opposite colors. Like I could wear gold, you could wear black. It would be Homer and Hater.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
All right,
yeah, we gotta do that.
We're gonna make that work. All right, then we could have people always like. We should tell people like, hey, you can buy these shirts. If you're a Homer, you would get my shirt, and if you're a Hater, you would get Lance's shirt. I like that.
And I know Jeff, you will make it happen.
I'm gonna do my best. All right, Captain Underpants asks, what's the turnover margin in this game for the Steelers? Obviously.
I think it will be even. I think both teams will get a couple of turnovers. Steelers get 2, Browns get 2, and so the plus minus will be even.
Greg Wakefield says, let's see. It kind of compounds the idea for the t-shirt saying, I'm with Homer and I'm with Hater.
Yeah, we got to do Homer Hater. That
would be pretty good.
That'd be pretty good. That'd be excellent. That absolutely, that would be good.
Spiral Bomber asks, if Benny Snell ends up being a really good running back by the end of the season, what would his name be? I guess so. Basically, it would turn into like we used to call Bud Dupree Dud. Do you change his name from Benny No Jets to
he'd be what? Benny the Jet Snell?
Well, no, because the Jet, he has to be fast. He's not fast.
He'd just be his name. How about that? He'd just be Benny Snell.
How about we worry about it if it actually happens? Because I would not put money that it would actually happen.
Hashtag Rocket Packs.
Rocket Packs. Just Me says, I'm with Homer. Yes, Homer. Ding, ding, ding.
I'm with Homer. Hashtag home. That'd be pretty good.
That would be pretty funny.
And that'd be a reason why you guys have to listen to the shows, particularly the YouTube version of it, because it would all make sense. Like a lot of you guys have been on with us on this journey, and you would absolutely get it. And you guys would just kind of just laugh hysterically every episode when Jeff would be. See, I did the opposite way.
You got to point the opposite way.
I still messing it up.
Oh my gosh. Other way, Lance. There's 2 directions. There's left and there's right. If you point
there we go. Hashtag challenged. I couldn't get that right.
The funny thing is to kind of wrap up the show, I didn't want to go really over 30 minutes because it is the holiday. I got to go check on my grill. I've got the turkey on the grill as we speak. I want to know if there's anyone in the live chat right now that's been with us since the Blog Talk Radio days. That's what I want to know.
I want you to do a video of you and the turkey.
Hey, you check out my Instagram, and you can follow my star. I'll put my Instagram in here one time.
I need the finished product. I want to see how that grilled bird looks.
It's looking pretty good. I just put my Instagram handle for those that are on Instagram in the live chat, so check that out. In my story, I talked about the grill. We didn't give the brine recipe like I wanted to.
No, don't give out the recipes, man. Don't give out the recipes.
We did that late last night. It sat overnight, actually a little bit longer than overnight, and got it out today. It's on the grill, looking good. Got it. It'll be good to go for about 4:30. We'll be ready to take that thing off the. So yeah,
magnifique.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Oh my gosh, some of these comments are great. Says Rudy T says I've been listening for 3 years, just downloading the shows and listening while I work. I love it. Greg Wayfield, great. I'll put this up here. He says, hit that like button. These turkeys are awesome. That's absolutely the truth. Make sure a lot of people have given us money today, and we really appreciate that. The holidays are coming up. Lance, the kids need shoes, man. The kids need shoes.
You know what I'm going to challenge some listeners to do? I'm going to challenge some listeners to do at the holiday. We appreciate everything that you've given us over this year, the super chats, everything. It's awesome. Me and Jeff have been blessed. We're fortunate. We're gainfully employed. We have family. We have homes. Find it in your heart, man. If you want to give us something to the show, man, give it to a food bank or something today. Give it to a food bank, to something today, something you can find in your community, in your neighborhood, man. Take some canned goods somewhere. Just do that, man. Represent Steeler Nation right. Represent yourself right. Take that money that you were going to give us, and give it to somebody that really needs, to somebody in need.
One of the best things that I've done in my life is things like getting blankets and just taking it to homeless shelters, because let's be honest, winter's coming. And if you live, somewhere where it gets really cold, sometimes that's the best thing you can give is a blanket. And you can go to, even if you're a pet lover, you can take it to the Humane Society, give them toys, money, food. There are so many ways to help others on this Thanksgiving Day. We appreciate it. Like Lance said, we're both blessed in so many different ways that we appreciate everything you all do for us, but don't forget to be kind to others. That's really, really important. So yeah, there you go. So,
and lastly, if you get a chance, and possibly if you're going to the game, smack a Browns fan. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. If you got a Nerf helmet, swing a Nerf helmet and hit a Browns fan with a Nerf helmet, just for fun.
If you're going to the game, if you're going to the game or if you're going to any type of Steelers event or around Steeler fans, spread the love in regards to the show and BehindTheSteelCurtain.com. Like when Lance says all the stuff he says at the end, sharing it isn't just technically like sharing it on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. It's also going and telling other people like, oh, you're a Steeler fan. You ever heard of BehindTheSteelCurtain.com? Getting them in the door is sometimes like, hey, you get them in the door, and then it's my job to keep them there. That's basically how we roll here at BehindTheSteelCurtain.com. So there you go, Lance. Why don't you send us off? It's been a great show. I really like this.
Happy Thanksgiving to Steeler Nation, to everybody that supports the program, to Jeff, to Dave, to Who's Bad, Brian Anthony Davis. Big up to everybody, Steeler Nation as a whole. Happy Thanksgiving. And as always, tune in, tell a friend, and subscribe.
Absolutely. Homer and Hater. We're out.
Yes.
We'll be back on Sunday for another episode of the Steelers postgame show. Check us out tomorrow night, Friday night, for a Steelers preview with BAD and Dave Schofield. We'll see you later. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be safe, be blessed. We'll talk to you.